out there, lovely good morning and welcome to Camnet TV Breakfast Show. It is a Friday edition, the day before the weekend. My name is Joe Smart and of course we are live on DSTV, Go TV, as well as Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to like our Facebook page. Let's go the numbers together, and you can as well leave a comment as we bring to you nothing but the best in current affairs this Friday morning, from President Hakainde Hichilema dissolving the ACC board to the suspension of ZAMSA Director General Mr. Nyasulu, and of course a lot more coming up. We'll be contacting Mr. Chanoda Ngwira this particular morning, and also we'll be highlighting the write-up that was written by Honorable Anthony Mumba, the Kantanshi Member of Parliament, highlighting some of the points in the Vice President's speech yesterday to Parliament, where he says she missed an opportunity to address some of the critical matters that are currently happening as regards the corruption fight. For those that missed out on the presentation or the statement that was given to by the Vice President to the August House at the National Assembly yesterday, we'll be looking at it and bringing you some of the points. But just in case you missed on some of the headlines that we had yesterday, they are still fresh as ever. We are going to bring them to you this particular morning. And do remember that we do have juicy headlines coming your way from our newspapers this morning. You don't want to miss this. But for now, let's go to this particular story where the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency board has suspended its Director General, Mr. Victor Nyasulu, from his position. Now, in a statement, Acting Board Chairperson Dr. Lisulo Walubita reveals that the suspension is in relation to the 61 containers of assorted medicines and medical supplies that were found at a private depot in Lusaka's Makeni area. We do have a clip to this effect. We go on this particular clip. When we come back, you, the viewer, has the privilege of calling us and giving us your submission regarding these stories that we are airing to you. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA Board has with immediate effect suspended the Director General, Mr. Victor Nyasulu, from office. This action is in relation to the 61 containers of assorted medicines and medical supplies that were found at a private depot in Makeni area of Lusaka. The ZAMSA Board extremely regrets the occurrence of these incidents. The board would like to assure the general populace that ZAMSA operations and its servicing of all public health facilities will not be affected.
Okay, though that's a story right there, and I'm told to say good morning to Mr. Tembo from Chongwe, Mr. Malambo from Kapirimponshi, and Lady Anonymous. We hope you're going to call us this particular morning and give your submission. We do appreciate your association with Camnet Breakfast. As we urge you to rise and thrive this particular morning, let's go to another story where President Hakainde Hichilema has with immediate effect dissolved the Anti-Corruption Commission Board days after the resignation of its Director General, Mr. Tom Trevor Shamakamba, amid corruption allegations. Now, in a statement by State House Chief Communication Specialist Clayson Hamasaka, President Hichilema's decision is pursuant to Article 270 of the Zambian Constitution. You can see the press release right on your screen there, detailing what the President said, and of course intercepted by Camnet TV and issued by Clayson Hamasaka, Chief Communication Specialist, State House. So the Anti-Corruption Commission Board has been dissolved, but there are calls from different sectors to also investigate, follow up individuals that were mentioned in the corruption scandal. Now we go to another story here where Chief Government Spokesperson Mr. Cornelius Mwetwa says the Financial Intelligence Center report for 2023 should not be used to paint the UPND administration corrupt, because the report only points out suspicious transactions. Mr. Mwetwa highlights that until individuals involved are identified, the UPND administration will not be held accountable for corruption. We do have a clip to this effect, and you, the viewer, can come through and give us your views regarding the minister's remarks concerning the FIC report of 2023, which has highlighted grand corruption happening under this particular administration, and a rise from corruption or illicit transactions that took place in 2022 and 2023. There is a rise of 133%. Here's a clip.
Point here that we must be able to disaggregate from a general understanding of corruption under the previous administration and or corruption or illicit financial transactions under the present administration is who is involved. Who is involved in these suspicious financial transactions is a question that must be determined. So if you are going to find that, that's why the president quickly called out the investigative agencies to say, can you follow through? Because the FIC, or Financial Intelligence Center reports on suspicious financial transactions. It is not like the Auditor General's report that gives verifiable or verified information. There is statutory law which we must work in conformity with, and also be mindful that there are issues of national health policy considerations. If therefore you are going to trap or get young people into performance of circumcision, and you are using implements or conducting in such a way that there is no proper sanitization to guarantee avoidance of transmission of disease, using those implements you are using, then the government...
Okay, Minister Mwetwa there during a press conference, or a press briefing if you like. We do have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
My name's Jackson Sand, calling from Ikeleng, the remotest district of Zambia, that is bordering Angola and Congo.
Fantastic. Good to have you here, sir. Your submission.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Just can you reduce volume from your TV set?
No, I've moved out of the screen.
Even better, even better. You can go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, I've heard the statement which the Honorable Minister has released. I've understood. You see, corruption is a cancer. And we appreciate what His Excellency President HH is doing and his cabinet.
Okay.
Because in the previous government, they were not fighting corruption. That is the cause that has really caused us Zambians to suffer. Because it was rampant.
Okay.
No one was being followed. But this time, immediately someone involves himself in corruption, is followed. So that's why as Zambians, we are happy with this government.
Okay.
The president must be supported 100%. Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jackson, allow me to ask you this question.
Yes, go ahead.
Does it have to take somebody to report matters that were happening at the Anti-Corruption Commission to compel the president to dissolve the board? Because we all understand the president is updated on a daily basis. He has information on his fingertips. He knows what happens in these ministries, in these boards. Does it have to take a whistleblower to alert the public of what is happening for action to be taken? That's the question that the Zambian people are asking.
Yes, correct. You are saying that. But you see, certain corruption, you would think the president is aware. But then at times, he should not even be aware.
Okay.
So when the whistleblower does that, that's why the president comes in. That's why we are saying the president must be supported.
Okay.
With me, I'm supporting him 100%. The support for the president and his cabinet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add, Mr. Jackson?
Yes. You see, when you look at the previous government, I'm watching nearly every day the happening in the parliament. But why these opposition members of parliament, they are in forefront of condemning the corruption? But when they were in government, they were not fighting it.
Okay.
Why? That question should be asked to those in opposition. Why are they in forefront this time? But when they were in government, they were not doing that. Okay. It means they are corrupt. And I even saw where they were celebrating people in Chingora and the other one in, was it Northern or Apura, where there were some riots and they were celebrating. Okay. What is that? That is chaos. If anything, they can be even arrested.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, thank you so much for coming through, and I say good morning to the people of Ikeling.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Okay, God bless you too. That's Mr. Jackson there coming through from all the way from Ikeling. You can as well do the same, come through and give us your submission. What do you think about Minister Cornelius Moeto's remarks that the FIC report has got lacunas, simply meaning, or loosely translated, that it has got gaps that needs to be bridged? And he says that the FIC report does not reflect what is currently happening in the UPND administration, and this report shouldn't be used to paint the UPND black, that it's corrupt. What do you think about this statement? Because the FIC report details how corruption or how monies are being externalized through illicit financial transactions, financial flows. You can come through and give us that submission. And do you think the UPND has intensified its fight against corruption in the 3 years that it has been at the helm of administering over the affairs of this nation? We await your call or text message. We move on. We go to this particular story in Chilanga, where government has challenged cooperatives in Chilanga to also major in agriculture amidst the drought as they apply for support through Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Now, speaking at the handing over of grants worth 2 million kwacha for 2024 to 59 cooperatives on poultry, peanut processing, among others, Chilanga CDF Committee Vice Chairperson Vincent Kakoma observes that the country's threatened food security can be improved if cooperatives prioritize agriculture. I totally agree with him. Here's the clip.
On 29 September 2023, during the 2024 National Budget presentation, Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane, announced the increase of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, from 28 million kwacha to 30.6 million kwacha. The program is meant to uplift the living standard for vulnerable communities and citizens in various parts of the country, with arguments persisting on the effectiveness of the funds. With a population of about 127,604, 59 cooperatives from Chilanga District, Lusaka Province have had their doubts replaced with smiles as the government handed grants valued at over 2 million kwacha to the beneficiaries drawn from the 12 wards who intend to venture into pottery, peanut processing, briquette making, among others. Speaking during the presentation of the grants, Area Member of Parliament challenged the recipients to be accountable and ensure the grants benefit the communities. However, the CDF committee want would-be recipients to focus on agriculture as a measure to stabilize the country's food security amidst the drought.
If you go out there to see the majority, probably there's only about 20% of the cooperatives that received these grants are still operational. Other people are back to square one now. So this should not be the case. This money is meant to change your lives so that others also can come. As a CDF, you see, you give the council a lot of work to do.
We have a national disaster. So you will find that we'll have to prioritize activities that go towards mitigating the crisis that we are in. So that Wali Nenkoko or Nangula, I'm sure soon it will be Inkoko no Wali, because a lot of our people will be into pottery farming.
We believe that by empowering individuals and groups with the necessary resources, we can stimulate local economic growth and improve the livelihoods of our people.
For Ministry of Local Government Direct Administration, Axon Habanji, representing the minister, challenges the recipients to prove the benefits of CDF to those doubting in it.
3 years to date. These are empowerment grants. The empowerment component, 6.3 million kwacha going into the community. I want to join the Member of Parliament in making an earnest appeal. This money is meant to change the livelihood of the community members in the positive.
The recipients pledge to be transparent and accountable in utilizing the funds.
The nation, and indeed you leaders of us, that this money will be put into good use. And will not wait to be followed up so that we do the homework or we do the necessary things what you are supposed to do with this money.
The presentation of the 2024 grants to 59 cooperatives bring the total number of beneficiaries from cooperatives since 2022 to 163. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Chilanga.
Okay, so that's a report there coming all the way from Chilanga. And of course, the CDF Committee Vice Chairperson, Mr. Vincent Kakoma, has observed that the country's threatened food security can be improved if cooperatives prioritize agriculture. Now, this is taxpayers' money, and of course, the enhanced CDF has gone to 30.6 million kwacha, and we could see that 2 million kwacha for 2024 was released to those cooperatives groups there. Some are venturing into poultry. Now, amidst load shedding, they are venturing into poultry. And also peanut butter processing. Have they done their feasibility studies? Is peanut butter, do or Zambians or Chilanga residents, are they into peanut butter processing? This is why we are seeing that members of the public, some citizens, some sections of society are saying that CDF is not working because the cooperatives, the projects that they're getting into are not viable. You can't have a poultry at this time of the year, at this time of when the economy is going through a crisis, if you like, and load shedding is all over. Then you venture into poultry farming, unless if you have a genset or you have other sources of generating power. And peanut butter processing, We await to see what to come out of these cooperatives, and we'll follow this story to the latter, so that because it's CDF, obviously it's a revolving fund, because other youths need to benefit from that particular fund as well, and bearing in mind that this is a taxpayers' money. It is the Zambian people's money, and it needs to be given back to others so that they can also venture into more viable, progressive projects out there. Now we go to this particular write-up by Honorable Anthony Mumba. He is the Kantanshi lawmaker or member of parliament, and he has highlighted some key points regarding the speech that was given by Her Honor Madam W.K. Nalumango, the Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, yesterday on the floor of Parliament regarding the corruption fight. I followed that speech keenly, and I was interested in what Honorable Anthony Mumba wrote. Now, according to this write-up by Honorable Anthony Mumba, I quote, "Today, Her Honor, the Vice President in Parliament, missed an opportunity to put the record straight on the achievements of the new Dawn government on the fight against corruption. Some of the grand corruption accusations include: number one, corruption over the purchase of drugs as revealed by the Minister of Health. Number two, a company is formed today and tomorrow is awarded a 28 million kwacha contract at FRA. Number three, on the procurement of fertilizers, corruption. Number four, on the procurement of petroleum products. Number five, the mayor of Livingstone is suspected of corruption. No action is taken. Number six, 2.5 billion United States dollars owed to ZRA or Zambia Revenue Authority by FQM, First Quantum Minerals, strangely written off, while Zambian-owned small businesses are left with unnecessary debt to ZRA. Number seven, accusations that our Zambian leaders have benefited from a 20 million United States dollars cash out from a foreign country. Now, he says the list goes on, but the question is, why is UPND soiling its campaign promise of fighting corruption? Corruption brings in governments, and it also takes out governments. In God we trust. Honorable Anthony C. Mumba, MP. So that was the write-up by Honorable Anthony Mumba, the Kantanshi MP, and of course, Camnet TV Breakfast Team monitored his Facebook page, and this is what we had to bring out. There are some sections of society that are calling for the UPND administration to intensify its fight against corruption, and the question that begs answers is, does it have to take a whistleblower to expose what is currently happening at a named institution for action to be taken, for the board to be dissolved, and some individuals that have been mentioned in this scandalous corruption case or allegations, if you like, they are still roaming the streets? Let's go to the newspapers so that I can quantify what I am saying. We start with the mast this particular morning. Let's see what the mast has for us. The mast reads with a screaming, juicy headline, if you like, there, which says, HH must act decisively. You can't fight corruption with individuals who fear if they confront thieves, they will also be exposed. Skyly. Okay. There is a danger. UPND government may find itself going in circles until elections day. Mwanajidi, that's a governance expert there. Then state witness confirms ZRA reinstated her after she changed her statement. Okay. It will be sad for us to kill UNIP because of personal interests and differences. Reverend Banda. Okay. US gives Kasama family solar-powered water system. Okay, let's move on to the News Diggers. It is a daily tabloid as well, just like the Must newspaper. We go to the News Diggers this morning, and it comes with an interesting headline. MPs walk out after Speaker ends debate on corruption allegations at SEC. Interesting. SEC stopped me from paying Mikalile, Nkulukusa explains. Okay. ZAMSA board moves to fire DG, charge him with negligence. Mwetwa U-turns on FIC. We will follow HH's guidance. Court in court. There you have it on your screen. Let's move on. Let's go to the Daily Nation. We have the Solicitor General on the top on the top right of your screen there. He's been cut off a bit, but I can confirm that's the Solicitor General, Counsel Major Mujende. Solicitor General Mujende denies ex-SEC boss Shamakamba. Okay, that's the headline there. SEC can't fight graft in its form. Chifire, governance expert there, Mr. Gregory Chifire. Now, the headline, the main headline there, state corruption cover-up. Okay. The dissolution of the SEC board and suspension of the ZAMSA Director General is a cover-up intended to prevent comprehensive investigations into very serious cases of corruption that have been uncovered. It was self-defense, Ngona on firing Maos. Drama still continues, and in the PF camp. Under scrutiny, stakeholders reject BOZ's de-dollarization policy. HH and ECL dialogue a must, says Bishop Mambo. Okay, that's a clergyman there. Bishop Mambo suggesting that incumbent president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and the former president, Mr. Edgar Lungu, should meet and reconcile. And this obviously was brought to the attention of the public when the president attended the RCZ function at the showgrounds, where he mentioned that he will reach out to his brother, the former president, Mr. Lungu, so that they can iron out issues, or they can be able to talk, dialogue, and sit as brothers. We only have one surviving former president, and we have the president that is there, President Hakainde Hichilema. For now, he has a mandate to 2026. If the Zambian people allow him to continue, he will continue for another 10 years. He will be given a second mandate as and when Zambia goes to the elections. But for now, let's find out where the drama in Uka came from, because we have had voice notes. We had part 1, part 2, part 3. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to call Mr. Chanoda Ngwira. It seems there's a cold war between Mr. Chanoda Ngwira and NDC faction leader Savoy Imboela regarding the happenings in Uka. Mr. Chanoda Ngwira says Uka is ECL and ECL is Uka. And when I say ECL, I mean the former president, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. That's ECL. And on the other hand, as NDC leader Savoy Imboela says, no. The UKA was formed without the PF. It was her, Mr. Jackson Silavoy, and a few others that came together so that they can give credible checks and balances to the UPND. However, Mr. Ngwira has a different opinion to that. We are reaching out to him this morning so that we can have a conversation. But before we do that, Anonymous comes through and should like to address the nation. Anonymous, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Senator. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to have you here. How's the morning?
The morning is cold, but we are striving through.
Fantastic. You can go ahead.
Mr. Smata, I would like to commend the President over his action of dissolving the board of SEC, which indicates to me that the President is a listening President. He has heard the grievances of his citizens, and that is something that is commendable, and I would like to commend the President over this particular action. However, when it comes to his employee, who is Mr. Mitwa, I'm really disappointed with that. Does that mean that the FIC report is pointing fingers at the UPND government, or the FIC report had highlighted what the misgivings that were happening? It doesn't mean that they are pointing to say the UPND government is corrupt. No. What the FIC report is saying, their job is to say, okay, when it comes to mobile money, there are these problems. When it comes to this, there are these problems. And this, when it comes to money laundering, it is this. But why should he go on the defensive and tarnishing the name of the president like that? No one has said that the UPND is corrupt. I personally haven't said that. But for him to come out like that and be defensive is wrong. Wasn't he the same one just not too long ago who was saying the FIC report was okay? Wasn't he the same one? So why again has he changed his mind and his decision? But over our president, he did a good job. He maybe just continue being a listening president. So for me, myself, I just want you to calm down and power to go back to its normal position. Thank you so much. Okay,
thank you so much, Anonymous, our regular caller there coming through. We do appreciate your submission. She talks about Minister Mwetwa returning on the FIC report, and she advises that the FIC report is only highlighting what has been happening in the year 2023, of course, and not that the FIC report is saying the UPND is corrupt and Minister Mwetwa shouldn't be on the defensive, according to Anonymous there. And she commends President Hakainde Hichilema for taking a decisive, unpopular decision of dissolving the SEC board. Something new in the Zambian political space or governance to see a head of state dissolving SEC board amidst corruption allegations. Anonymous says kudos to the president, and he needs to be commended and supported in the fight against corruption. We do have Bacheleshe coming through. Mr. Bacheleshe, good morning to you.
Good morning, brother.
Good to have you here. Your take, I know you've got a lot to talk about. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, quickly, let me just pick one or two.
Okay.
Let me concur with my sister who was from talking. We give credit where it's due. This is something that we were not seeing in the previous regime. Then it was batter after batter. So on the dissolving of SEC board, we say thank you so much, Mr. President. We feel so excited that even the voice of Garden, the voice of Chipurukusu, if we put something forward to your table, you are able to listen. But we are back to urge you to say, now that you have dissolved the board, scrutinize people to put there. Put the people that will serve the interests of the Zambian people, the interests of the vulnerable in Marore constituency, Mungwi district, the interest of Kanakantapa in Chongwe, before they put their interest. The position that you are, Mr. President, is not full-hearted fainted like my brother who is Sam Iloni, maybe is resting now. What do I mean? Your position, Mr. President, know that you have to be ready to lose friends who have got money, who have helped you, who maybe you think they can help you in future, who have been helping you, but your position, you need to take it like that. Before you lose a voter in Garden, a voter in Chipurugusu, a voter in Kanakantapa, a voter in Marore constituency, there we know that we are heading into a good direction. The PF should not make noise on we want an hour to debate on the issue of corruption. These are the things that they never did. So let them not complain to say, no, we wanted another hour. When did they give us another hour to debate on the issue of corruption in their regime? So let them not take politics everywhere. What we want is, yes, we want their voices to be added so that they can put pressure on government, so that the government can work on those mistakes and benefit the people of Zambia. So there, Mr. President, we are now calling on the ZESCO board to be dissolved, because what ZESCO is doing now, it's now not load shedding, but they are just doing deliberately to tempt your name. So they also put your eye there, make sure that things are done properly. We are with you, as we have stated earlier on. We are with you as long as things are being done correctly. Because my fear as a Chileshe in Garden is to come and stand in front of Joe to fail to convince him to say vote President Daka in the and the UPN in 2026. That is my fear as one of those that went flat out from 2008 up to 2021 to campaign for you. So when something is done correctly, we are saying we are with you and we are counting. Because you are making our job now easy to say, have you seen what the president did when we cried? Yes. So we are saying now, we are counting.
Mr. Chileshe,
yes, sir.
There has been a concern, a cry from the Zambians that yes, the SEC board has been dissolved. We take it to the Ministry of Health. It only found out last week, together with the ZAMSA board, that the drugs were parked somewhere in Makeni area within Lusaka. But some sections are calling for the Ministry of Health and the ZAMSA board and management to be taken to task. As well, yes, we have seen the DG being suspended, not fired, regarding this scandal that took place. What's your take on that?
On that one, Brother Joy, is that why should it take 8 months? Because that is the question I have, even me. Why should it take 8 months for something to be discovered, not small, but big? Even on fake report, the question that I have is, why do you wait for people to steal? That's when now you detect. There I'm failing to understand. Why do we have institutions to prevent people from stealing? Because their job has to be, before people try to swindle Chileshe through the mobile phone, the victor has to detect to say, this one is a thief, want to swindle Chileshe Garden. You understand? Yes, so we are calling on these institutions to say, you have been there with a good mandate to prevent and protect the public interest. Don't wait for the president to come and call you to say, where is the 61 containers? No, you have been there to protect the interest, and some of these individuals swear in to say, I'll protect the interest of what? The Zambian people. So ours is to call on them to say, please, can you do the right thing?
Mr. Chileshe, why are we only seeing the DG of ZAMSA being suspended? Why are we not seeing the board being dissolved, Ministry of Health also being taken to task? Because obviously we had statements like drugs, there was no storage facility to store these drugs. But the question comes back to say, when you are making the decision of procuring these drugs, didn't you, first of all, check or find out where these drugs are going to be stored or kept or stored, if you like?
You cannot order something that you don't have the storage. That is a lie. And if at all there were no storage, they were supposed to put on government storage or to go and park at Central Police. There are enough space there. You go and put at Zeta Maken, there are enough space there. So that is a lie, and we are not going to buy into that.
Okay. So the suspension of the DG at Zamsa is not enough for you. Hello? Okay. But Chileshe goes there, but thank you so much, Mr. Chileshe, for coming through. You, dear viewer, can also do the same. Come through, give your submission. These are national matters that affects you and I and the generations to come. Let's reach out to Mr. Chanoda Ngwira. We go political now and find out why these misunderstandings in UKA, United Kwacha Alliance, are emanating from. And we are reaching out to Mr. Ngwira right now so that we can have the conversation and have his own side of the story. Comrade Ngwira, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, I'm much better, as you can hear the voice, but I'm much better.
Fantastic. The Christians would say, we thank God.
Amen.
Okay. Let's get into it. Voice notes flew and flooded social media, different WhatsApp blogs, and the voice that was heard is that of you, Mr. Ngwira. But in the interest of fairness, we decided to give you an opportunity to speak to the Zambian people and bring them up to speed regarding the happenings in UKA, United Kwacha Alliance. Mr. Ngwira, kindly go ahead. Where are these cracks coming from, misunderstandings in UKA?
Thanks so much, Joe. And I want to appreciate and give gratitude to Camnet TV for this opportunity to actually clarify, or rather put to speed the Zambians regards what has been going around on social media. In the first place, Joe, I want to categorically state here that even in a family setup, whether extended family, direct family, there's always supposed to be serious discussion. And if a member of a family comes up with a discussion or an expression or an opinion, that family member must not be gagged, must not be, told to shut up. In this regard, United Kwacha Alliance is a good idea, where different political parties and individuals have come to form a group that would, or rather that may face this regime of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. However, we must be very categorical here that members of political parties that have come together must be given freedom regards discussing the leadership, because we are not going to remain in the vacuum as WUKA, as we are going just as a ship without a captain. There must be a captain, and that is what prompted, or this is what is a hidden fire within the United Kwacha Alliance. Joe, if you ask me how all these issues came about, even me, I'm so surprised, because what I did 2 days ago was to acknowledge what Dr. Zimba actually wrote, to say these are the 12 things that WUKA must do. And I posted in one of the WUKA blogs.
Okay.
Surprisingly, Joe, I got some serious surprising against me.
Okay.
I insisted. I said, I only said I agree with what Dr. Zimba said. Some section of the members of the GPZ, whatever it is called, for Silavwe, members of the Savoy faction NDC, and some members of Mr. Hari Kalawa's party really stood up against me and said all sorts of things. I was very calm. I was very calm, Joe. I can't lie. I wish I could screen grab so that you show on the screen how I was insulted and all that. I grew thick. I'm thick-skinned naturally when it comes to political debate. The debate continued, Joe, and all the viewers there. I want to state it very categorically. The debate continued. However, for some reason, someone sponsored or rather influenced an admin, and this is Madame Savoy.
Okay.
She asked one of the admins to remove me, and I was removed. I had no problem, Joe, to be removed. I had no problem at all.
Okay.
And I didn't even argue after I was removed. Apart from me going to one of the admins to say, but where is democracy? Why have I been removed? And why is it that every time when PF members start talking about Edgar Chagwalungu, by the way, after I endorsed the article from Dr. Zumani Zimba, I further said, in fact, this WUK alliance should be led by President Edgar Chagwalungu. And that is the health debate that each member from these political parties is supposed to be discussing. I have no problem if the NDC members start saying they want Savoy, or if the GPZ, whatever the name is, the Golden Party Zambia, says no, they want Slavwe. If FDD member says they want Madam Edith Nawakwe, Joe, that is very healthy in a family. And that is exactly what I was doing. Now, coming back, that's how Madame Savoy came after I was removed. You can imagine, all along she was quiet. After I was removed, she did her voice note addressing me.
Okay, so the voice note that we heard, Mr. Ngwira, came after the admins of the United Kwacha Alliance WhatsApp group had removed you from that particular group.
Come again?
The voice note from Miss Savoy Imboela addressing you came after you had been removed from the UKA group.
Precisely. Group? The voice note came after I was removed from the UKA group, one of the UKA groups.
Okay, okay.
When she was actually there, she couldn't, when I was still there, she could not say anything.
Okay.
Now she came with a voice note, and somebody forwarded it to me. And I'm sure you heard what Comrade Savoy said about Edgar Chagwalungu, about the Patriotic Front itself, and how they formed the WUK Alliance. Actually, that is what prompted me, as a concerned member of the Patriotic Front, to put Madame Savoy to speak. But actually what she was doing, disparaging and saying all sorts of things against President Edgar Chagwalungu and the PF, I think was not necessary. And I even asked her questions to say, Savoy, what does she bring on the table? Even that Slavwe, what does he bring on the table? Because we may have 100 zeros, it will still remain a zero. Okay. I was pushed to say such because of the way Madame Savoy came out. It seems Madame Savoy and whoever she's working with have been planning evil, obviously against President Edgar Chagwalungu and the Patriotic Front, which is quite an unfortunate thing. And as members of the PF, I don't think we are going to allow people that could have eaten from the table of the PF to start, making all wild allegations and saying all sorts of things, belittling a former head of state. Joe, it is not my desire to belittle any alliance member. desire to actually value every member of the United Kwacha Alliance. However, there must be some sort of, what should I say? This gesture must be reciprocated too.
Okay.
We must be honest, Joe. Even in family setups, there are elder brothers, elder sisters, younger brothers, younger sisters, and when it comes to a family meeting, the elders are usually given precedence and discussing issues of who should lead Uka, forwarding or floating individuals. I think that is a healthy debate, and nobody must get agitated about it unless they are political agendas. So for me, I stand on my stance that Edgar Chagwalungu is the right person to lead the United Kwacha Alliance. This does not mean that these other colleagues from other political parties are not are not important. They are very important because we're a family. But we cannot be moving in a ship without a captain. And we cannot have 6 captains. No, there must be one captain at a time. And for us, we feel, or for me, I feel Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu is the right man to be a captain of this ship called the United Kwacha Alliance. The reason is simple. The man comes on board with numbers. The man comes on board with experience. He has been president before for 7 years. And obviously when it comes to people generally, we can compare. Let Madam Savoy go to Soweto today. I don't know how many people are going to follow her, even to know that this is Madam Savoy. But let Edgar Lungu just move from his home, just to move and go to Soweto. You will see the kind of, the kind of people that will follow. So follow him. But in short, I do not know what crime that I did for Madam Savoy to actually come out in the manner that she came out. And because she did so, she needed to be told the truth. That, look, let's be very realistic. Even the UPNDPF alliance crumbled down because of such debates. Mr. Haka Ndechilema and his members were forwarding him. The Patriotic Front were forwarding Mr. Sata. And there, obviously, we knew that Mr. Sata had an advantage. But Mr. Haka Ndechilema was being pushed also. And that's how the UPND-PF alliance fell. So these alliances, trust you me, as long as there is no sincerity, there is no transparency, they may not work in this country. And I must state here now that with or without the United Kwacha Alliance, Edgar Lungu is a household name. Edgar Chagwalungu is a man that, is loved naturally. Because here it is about comparing. What has Hakainde done? What did Edgar Lungu do? These are the politics that we need in 2026. People have no time to say. They have already experienced on Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. When they voted Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu out, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu out, they said, no, let's try this new person. We see what will happen. But the 2026 elections, my brother Joe, are you there, Joe?
I'm here. I'm following keenly.
The 2026 politics, or rather campaigns, must focus on what has this man done. The man that claimed is an economist, the man that claimed he has solutions, the man that claimed that is a farmer. What has he done? The man that said there will be no corruption in my government, when actually it is rampant. And then people start saying, but what did Edgar Chagwalungu do? These are the politics where we are going to. Now we want to bring in Savoy to become the UKA Alliance. People should now start thinking, maybe anachita is. Maybe they would, people are not interested in that. They want to see a man who was delivered already and compare to the man that claimed he would deliver.
Mr. Ngwira, on that one,
Yes,
according to the voice note and according to Miss Savoy Imboera, she said that UKA has actually given some life to the PF, and initially they had nothing to do with the PF. They never wanted the PF anywhere near UKA until former Justice Minister, who is now the PF faction Vice President, Honorable Given Lubinda, reached out to her, and according to the word that she used, and I'm being very careful, she said he pleaded with the then UKA members that had initially formed UKA. He pleaded with her and the other team members for the PF to be part of UKA, Mr. Ngwira. And according to her, UKA has brought the PF back to life and given it relevance. Mr. Ngwira.
you see, I'll be honest with you. People that have got no capacity, or people that have got no fruits. Let me use this word. I'll be very blunt.
Okay.
Are you aware that barren people are usually too loud in terms of talking about children?
Okay.
With due respect in the people that are unable to give children. I apologize to them. But that is just a figurative speech.
Okay.
People that are impotent are the ones that are too loud. You understand? I'm not trying to insult or rather demean them.
Okay. Okay.
Savoy says that UKA gave life to PF. How can a BID bring life to a doctor? That's impossible.
Okay.
What UKA was there before Edgar Chagwalungu associated himself with UKA? When the president came back into active politics, he made a very serious statement. He said, we are going to work with everyone. We are going to work. He even gave a privilege to Savoy by mentioning her name. That's how good President Edgar Chagwalungu is. He said, we are going to work with Freddie Membe. We are going to work with the Savoys. We are going to work with the Winter. He mentioned everybody. And that is how things started. PF has had life. PF has more than 50 members of parliament in the House today. PF has hundreds, if not 500s, of council chairpersons, mayors, and councillors. What life is Savoy talking about? Savoy, can she point at us what structure she has anywhere? Is she known in Lundas? The answer is no. Is she known in Chasef? The answer is no. Is Edgar Lungu and PF known everywhere? The answer is yes. So all those are the things that we say are demeaning to the Patriotic Front. And we cannot accept that. It's not good for people like Savoy, who politically a BID politically, to start demeaning people like President Edgar Chagwalungu and the PF. We cannot accept that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Now, Mr.
So it's not true. In short, it's not true that UKA, UKA in the name of UKA in the name of Savoy and whoever it is brought life to PF. How possible is that? At the time that UKA was being formed, PF already had life. All right. We don't want to say much of the things regarding what Savoy was doing at the State House when President Lungu was in State House. These issues of alliances started a long time ago. And some of them, like Savoy, benefited heavily. It's evident so. They campaigned for Edgar Chagwalungu. If at all they did, even. But let me not say much. We must be honest to each other. And us as PF, I'm not a spokesperson for PF, but as a member of the Patriotic Front, my stance remains. Edgar Chagwalungu must be the leader of the United Kwacha Alliance. Well, let's forget it.
So if others do not agree, Mr. Ngwira, what happens?
We are ready to go it alone. We are able to do it.
Okay.
We'll look for other partners that are serious. We don't want people that want to use names of people to secure their, or rather to make their political parties strong. For instance, you know that some UCA members are busy getting our own members, our own PF members. They are busy getting members from the Patriotic Front, busy appointing them. How do you do that? How do you have a family where a brother is going behind your back, sleeping with your wife, and you say we're a family? Is that the way things are supposed to be?
Mr. Ngwira, let me ask you this question. Who's using who in UCA? We had seen a rally that was reported widely in the press where in Kitwe, this rally, according to some reports, was supposed to be chaired by Mr. Harry Kalaba of the Citizens First Party, and the former president was also invited there. And according to some governance experts, political pundits, they are saying that the former president stole the limelight from Mr. Harry Kalaba, and maybe that's where the tensions in UCA started from. The crack started from there because, of course, Honorable Harry Kalaba wants to be president. We know that. Madam Savoy Mboela wants to be president. We know that. The man that I like to call the young man, Mr. Jackson Slavwe, also wants to be a president. We know that. But there's a general feeling, according to some political pundits, that within UCA, these individuals feel that the former head of state is stealing the limelight from them and diminishing their chances of ascending to the top office of the land. Mr. Ngwira.
I'll be honest with you. I have got so much respect for Comrade Harry Kalaba. And he's a man that I have sat with one-on-one, I think maybe once or twice. I have discussed with him serious issues pertaining to, the nation. And this is a man that has served, I think, in one of the most prestigious ministries, that's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's a man that is exposed. He is an experienced politician and all that. So I wouldn't want to go much on talking about Mr. Harry Kalaba, because for him, it is very obvious he has got a following. Being president or desiring to be president is not a wrong thing. Okay. And I want to applaud Comrade Slavwe. I want to applaud Savoy for their desire to become presidents of this country. But there's always a time. There's always a process. You don't just become. There must be a process. If we can do comparison between Harry Kalaba and the other two gentlemen, even Shalakateka, Vaidis Nawakwi, Sakubia Scott and all that. These are people that have been politically exposed for a long time. The other two are people that are now beginning to, crawl. They're beginning to be, in the limelight. You can't just come from nowhere and you want to become something. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Ask Pastor Chilwa, he will tell you that God of life did not just start where it is today. It started worshipping Edgar Chagwalungu. I could have been worshipping Hari Karaba. I could have been worshipping Saki, so that they can groom me to becoming who they are today. Not having a clandestine meeting in trying to become president when you know that you can't even handle your own home and you want to become a Republican president. It doesn't work like that. Coming to the issue of the limelight, sir, it's not stealing. It is an automatic thing. You understand? Even you there, Joe, you may have a guest. For instance, if I was there in the studio discussing with you, if Edgar Chagwalungu comes back, Joe, you will stand up and say, Your Excellency, it's not that he's stealing. Stealing is doing or getting something that the owner doesn't know. But you are that the moment Edgar Chagwalungu got invited, people are going to actually come. In fact, it went to the advantage of the CS. Is it Citizens First?
Yes, sir.
Political party. It went to their advantage. Because after they heard that, after people heard that Edgar Chagwalungu would be there, people turned up. And you saw, whenever any person wants to speak, they kept on saying, that is to tell you that people still want Edgar Chagwalungu. And for me, I know that the Comrade Hari Karaba is not a person that is so desperate to become Republican president, much as he deserves to. I think his politics may be different from people like Savoy. So it's not about that. I don't think it's about that. And yes, indeed, there were debates there. And even Comrade Chanda categorically stated that actually the right person is Edgar Chagwalungu. Let's just accept reality.
Okay.
Reality must be accepted.
Okay. Mr. Ngwira, we need to go. Let me thank you most sincerely for speaking to us this particular morning. We do appreciate you coming through and speaking your truth. In the interest of fairness, we have given you an opportunity and you have highlighted your side of the story. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Camnet TV management for giving me this opportunity. I wish I was there physically in the studio. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ngwira. Okay, so that's Mr. Ngwira there. He is a PF member, obviously, from the Edgar Lungu faction. There's the Mao Sampa faction, and there's the Chabinga faction. He was speaking to us regarding the matters that have emerged within UCA, that UCA is now cracking, and there are these debates, these misunderstandings coming through in the United Kwacha Alliance. He was giving his side of the story there, and obviously giving a perspective from the PF faction of the Edgar Chagwalungu led. I have been your host, Joe Smarter is my name. Thank you so much to Anonymous. Thank you so much, Mr. Chileshe, and all you, our esteemed viewers, that took time to choose us amongst many this Friday morning by tuning in to Camnet TV. On behalf of my director upstairs, thank you so much. We'll see you when you see us. Have a lovely weekend. Good morning.